Welcome to the Amma Manson Network and welcome to Kamada City. My name is Kama Mahako, and I'd like to say Happy Father's Day to all the great dads out there. I know some personally, I know some great, awesome dads who have been in their children's lives from conception, well, before conception, and they stayed and they stood by their kids and made sure that they did what they are supposed to do. I have been blessed in my life to know many men like that. Of course, the opposite characters are rampant, and we're not going down that road today. We're bigging up the ones who are here, are present, and doing what they're supposed to do. So I'd like to welcome some dads who will be sharing their story with us today. We have Mr. John Scott. Welcome, Mr. Scott. We
Yes,
have Mr. Kimarley Stewart. I think Kimarley stepped away from his camera for a bit. And also, we're going to have, hopefully, two other dads joining us in a little bit. Welcome, dads. So we did a special for Mother's Day, and we posed the question, what are the challenges of being a mother in today's world? I know that when Mother's Day comes around, it's all, bells and whistles and everybody's hooray, hooray, hooray. And I know the dads tend to feel a bit left out because when their day comes around, it's not all that exciting, people are running up and down. It's a number of reasons why I think this is. But I want to be balanced. And so just as I allowed the moms on their day to come on and to get, express their concerns, their challenges, I'm offering the dads the same opportunity, right? So we're going to jump right into it. And Mr. Scott, let me start with you. Let me ask you, what are some of the challenges that you're facing right now as a modern dad?
as a dad,
Mm-hmm.
I can say that it is it is up and down. We have some challenges sometimes with, like, I have a teenage daughter who is
Yes.
who have a great potential.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but sometimes whenever you see she's doing less than what is she can do, it poses a problem. And then she's setting the stage for our little brother. And then we expect her, because when you talk to her, she speak very conscious, very good. She's very eloquent. But
Mm-hmm.
when the things them that she needs to do, sometimes they're not adding up to what you
Afternoon.
expect of her.
Right.
So that can be a little bit challenging, because, and then you will go now and you might try to talk to her, and then you might talk to her in a way that it is less than what you should do. It causes you to be a little bit, firm. And
Mm-hmm.
that we reach a stage now that we should be sitting down and talking easily and freely.
Yeah.
The firm thing time should have passed now. But when you have to do it now, it is a challenge.
Well, I wouldn't say the firmness
Mhm.
necessarily is a problem, but back in the day when maybe our parents and grandparents used to be more hostile, like, and didn't allow the kids to even get a word in. Though I think those days should be gone, but
Yes,
definitely we still have to be firm. Yeah, we still have to
those
maintain that firmness,
right,
right,
right.
with a love.
Because you might have different children with different moods and attitudes. And
Right.
then what you don't want to happen is that you don't want to love them to the place where you can counsel them.
Yes. Okay. Let me welcome Mr. Robinson. Are you there? Mr.
No, miss, he's
Robinson.
doing something. I'm so log on.
Okay. All right, Zion. Thank you. Okay, so Mr. Stewart, your turn, sir. Tell me what was the number one challenge for you? I know Mr. Scott has kids right across the board, teenagers, infant.
Yes.
And, Mr. Stewart, what's your main challenge?
All right. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. My main challenge really is not having a father myself, so I didn't learn how to be a father from that. I didn't have a father figure because like I had uncles and stepfathers, but growing up I did not look up to them as father because they did not really like sit down with me and reason and say, okay, as a man you should do this, and I didn't have that growing up. So for me now, I have to be learning that along the way to come to teach my child and moving forward. Because the next thing, let me see.
But how did you, seeing as you're saying you didn't really have that that guidance from your dad because he wasn't there, how did you find the information or the knowledge? How did you know what to do?
Well, I just look for what I did not have growing up. I just decided that I'm gonna pass what I wanted, I should say. Yeah, what I wanted. What I really wanted growing up, I decided, okay, I'm gonna provide that for my kids. So I know that I would want somebody to be there to push me whenever I might not be feeling confident in something or doing something. I would want someone to push me in that direction. Will like be there and say, okay, you can do it. You can do it. Anyone can do it. That's what I always wanted. Because growing up I did not have much. I could do so much. I could do so much things, but there was no one to push me and say, okay, go forward, do that. So, but I was definitely would get beaten for all the mistakes I made.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I decided
And
that
I'm sure you're not talking when you say you wanted to make sure that you gave your child what you didn't have. I'm sure you're not just talking about material things, right?
no, not.
What are some of the things that you mean?
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't talking material things. I was talking about the figure of the person being there, that strong guidance, being there to teach you, to help you do whatever challenges you may pose or run into. That person will be there to help you with it as a father. Yeah, so those are the things that really I'm talking.
Okay. Mr. Scott, you have what is there a difference in terms of how you approach your girls as opposed to your boys in terms, I mean, you mentioned your teenage daughter.
Yes.
In terms of discipline and so is there a difference in your approach to your boys and your girls?
Yes, the boys will be always different from the girls. How you deal with them. You want to teach them. You want to teach them the principles of being a man. You want to tell them that listen, you must always be there for your sister. Take care of her. You must always represent your sister and your little sister. So you are the male, and you must be. Father God make us as man, not by choice, because we are the visual image of God. And if we are the visual image of God, then we should walk as so. So when I see my sons playing around with playing girl games or watching movie like girls would watch, no, I go stern on that. I want them to always be boys. So the girls know, the girls will always, you're not got you're gonna have some spot in your heart for your girls, you know, because they're that type. They will come and say, Daddy, can I have this? And they will come to you so subtle and so nice that it's hard to say no. So when
So
they come
you
and
think
say,
that there are specific shows that are girl shows and girl games.
yes, I think
What
so.
would those shows entail that you think would hinder the boy if he were exposed to that?
All right, like you'd have some soap opera, some episode movie, like movie that ladies watch and talk about. I don't want my son to be watching those movies and talking about the characters in the movie. Some some little movie like
Yeah, the soap operas you're
Like
talking
yes,
about,
yes,
reality
lifetime
shows
movies,
and stuff like that.
right.
lifetime dramas, and
That really hit me at the wrong place.
How would it hinder the boy if you watched it?
I don't want the boy to be thinking that along that line because I don't want anything feminine to be coming out of them. And in this world that we live in today, we have to ensure that our boys grow up as boys to be men of tomorrow.
yeah.
Mm. I'm not sure I completely agree with you on the point.
All right.
But all right. Mr. Stewart, would you want to add to that? Do you feel the same as a dad that there
Yeah.
are things that you wouldn't want a male child to watch or to do as opposed to a female child? And give me some examples.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't want my son to be playing with dolls and all that
Mhm.
and stuff. Yeah, I prefer him playing, making stuff, breaking stuff and playing boys games. We play with other boys because it's like you hang around boys, you become more masculine where you can grow into being a man. But if you hang around just girls doing girl stuff, he just become feminine. Feminize him where to me he just becomes soft and weak.
Well, there are persons who feel that it's actually when we don't allow boys to express that feminine part of them, because we have both, we all have both masculine and feminine.
Yeah.
It's one of the main things that lead to them not being able to express themselves as men in their relationships with women. And so we have a high suicide rates among men. We have men who can't, it's like they buckle under pressure there and they don't know how to express themselves. There are persons who feel that it is because as boys they are told, don't cry, don't be soft, don't be stuff like that. When it comes to playing with dolls and that kind of thing, I tend to have a different opinion of that, because for me it's role play for the kids. They're mimicking what they see adults do, and in a household the dads play with their babies, so why shouldn't a boy be able to play with a dad? But anyway, this is not about me, it's about the dads, right? All right, so let me check to see if Mr. Robinson is on. Are you here yet, Mr. Rob? Not yet. Okay, so in terms of instruction that you give to your kids, do you have a planned time where you say, okay, this is the time I'm gonna set aside where we sit down and we talk about XYZ? Or do you wait for the opportunities to present themselves and then you work with the moment? Or do you make sure that there's a specific time when they get to a certain age or they get to a certain milestone where you have to have this conversation? Let me start with Mr. Scott.
Well, to be honest with you, I always wait on the right time. I don't have a set time where, as they go along and then developing into whatever, from infant to adolescent to adult, they will be guided as such and what is expected of them as they go along. But I don't really have a set time or a set age to 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 introduce the principles of what they should do. It's something that is something that I was lucky to have both parents in my life.
Yes.
Although my father was a little bit, my mother was more dominant. My father was a little recessive. My father was, yes. But what I learned is that my mother, even though she was a woman, she performed the duties of a man.
Okay.
Because my father was very, very, very recessive. And as of that, I could have said, like a gentleman just speak a while ago, my father never sit us down and talk to us.
So he was there, but it's like
no, it was there. It was there. It was present. He was the provider. But talking to you was not his thing. I don't know if it was. I don't know. It wasn't a brilliant. It wasn't brilliant book-wise. It brilliant otherwise, but book-wise, it never brilliant. So I think he have some problem relating. So we didn't get that from our father. But what I tell you now, that when I look at how I was brought up, I could not. My mother brought up somebody like me to be this man. And I know if anybody else was my mother, I wouldn't be in this position, probably. Yes, because my mother was a very firm woman, and I respect her a lot and love her a lot. Sometimes when you have this great love for your parents, it tends to shape you as a person.
Yeah. There are persons who say that a woman cannot raise a boy to be a man.
I don't believe that.
So you're saying no, mash down that life.
No, I don't believe that. It depends on the woman and the type of respect and love what she earned from her kids. That my mother died 2018. And if my mother died, if my mother had died before that, I know that they never bury me in the same grave. Because so I was very happy that I could live and watch her sick until she gradually deteriorated until she died. That I could accept it then.
Yeah.
So I am telling you, a woman can grow, but you don't have a lot of parents like my mother.
True. You have to have specific. The woman has to be a special woman.
Yes, she was special.
To raise a son by herself to a point where he can stand firm.
Yes.
Mrs. Stewart, how about you in terms of when you have certain conversations? Do you have a set time in your head where you say, well, when my daughter gets to this age, I'm gonna sit her down, I'm gonna talk about X, Y, Z, or do you just wait for the opportunities to present themselves and then you go with the flow?
I think I do both. I do both because all right, she's very curious about many stuff. So she's always asking questions about this and about that. So I always try to find the right ways how to explain it to her, so she will understand. And they have other stuff that I said, okay, I might wait until the opportunity comes, or I'm gonna wait until the time, because at the time she will be able to process or understand it more better than at this time. Because if I say certain stuff to her now, she won't understand much of it. But at certain age, when I talking to her about certain stuff, she will understand it more. So yeah, so it's kind of both for me.
Are there some conversations that you definitely don't think you could handle with your daughter? You would leave that to her mom, or
yes.
Do you whatever the situation is, you think you can handle it?
I think there's some conversation that her mom could answer for her much better than I could, because I would just explain to her from a male's perspective, which that is just what I see, but I wouldn't know how the person feel, how the woman or the female feel. So I say our mom would be best to explain that to her, but I would still talk to her on like a scientific base about
Right.
what I
Just
know.
generally speaking.
Yeah. But her mom would be the person to give her the rundown and the feeling of everything of that.
Mhm. So we're talking about the challenges of the modern dad. So we can't ignore the influence of technology,
True.
and your kids, my kids, have been referred to as the technological generation, right?
Yep.
They are so much so that it's almost as if they are born holding the devices. They're
True.
born with that innate knowledge of how to use the devices, even to a point where they do it better than us, right?
Yep.
It just comes naturally to them because that's their generation, that's their time. So, question then, how do you manage to keep your youngster on track, on course with all of the negativity that is out there in terms of technology? Who wants to go first?
Me, Miss, come on.
Okay.
You know that one of the things that you must establish with your kids, you must always get them to a point where a place where they can feel free to speak to you and anything, so that you put in a better position to address the things that they are not too sure about
Yeah.
when they come to you with the problem that they are having, or the thing that they are seeing, and the thing what they want to ask question about. And then you must make sure that if you don't know the answer, don't make up no story.
Mhm.
Just be honest.
Yes.
Right.
If you say, son, I can't talk to you now, but to do a little, I'm going to do a little research and come back to you.
Right.
Yes. So then
Just be honest.
yes, just be honest. And when you're honest and they are honest, growing them is easier.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah, when they
Definitely.
come, when they can come tell you whatever is affecting them.
Mhm.
It allow you to guide them, whatever need to remove from, or how they need to walk, how they need to function, how they need to operate. It's easy for you when they are honest. When they are hiding things from you, when you have to find everything out,
Mhm.
it's hard.
True.
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay. How about you, Mr. Stewart?
Well, yeah, like what Mr. Scott said, yeah, I agree with that 100%. And also, I try to like with now she have her device, she have her iPad where I put parental control on it, so I am able to know what she's looking for, what she's searching for, what she's interested in. So and
Okay.
yeah, so I can block whatever I don't want her to indulge into as yet,
Mm-hmm.
because I
Because
think that kids.
it's not as if, I mean, it's so, it's not as if you can ban them from these
No,
devices.
no,
It
no,
does have to
no,
be
No, we're not. I'm not
part of
no.
on them.
this
So you have to
generation,
just guide. I
right?
think it's just guide
Yeah,
and
you just
Right.
have to work with it.
yeah, work with it and
Yes.
just explain to them the everything, the action and reaction of everything. What will
Right.
happen when this happen and what that. So yeah,
Right.
that's how. Yeah,
And,
that's how.
and we can't let our kids be naive.
Yeah,
No,
You
exactly.
have to
no.
let them know what's out there, even if they're not
Yes.
going to be exposed to the nitty gritty
Yeah,
of it, but they should at least know what is out there, what is possible,
true.
so as to avoid it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So when we did our Mother's Day feature, we allowed our moms to share some pics of the youngsters, and we're gonna do the same thing now. So what you do for me, dads? Anybody you see on the screen who you recognize, when I start sharing the pics, if you see somebody who you recognize, just tell me what's happening in the pic, what are you doing, and who is there. So let me start presenting that. Hold on. First of all, well, we were expecting two other dads to come on, Hold on. We're expecting two other dads to come on. They haven't joined us yet, but as soon as they do, we will do the same for them. All right, so let me see if I can get the pics up. All right, so whoever sees somebody who they recognize, you can start talking. Tell me who is in the pic, what's happening. He's not sharing us yet.
No.
No, I've not seen anything.
Well, it says that it's sharing. I don't know. All right, let me try again. Let me stop sharing and try again. Still nothing?
No.
No.
I don't know what's happening. It's on my end, it's telling me that I'm sharing. Hold on.
Okay, now seeing now.
Oh, you're seeing it now. Okay. All right. So, dads, tell us who is this? What's happening?
Mr. Scott there.
Yes.
Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Who are these three people in the pic?
Oh, I only see myself.
I see three people.
I see myself,
I see
and I see somebody holding me around the neck.
I wonder who is that.
I wonder who's it. Man, they do that this to me when I was not aware, you know.
It looks, and who is this on the screen? It's actually somebody else up here.
Who's it on the screen?
You're asking me, who is that?
That's an ultrasound pic.
Oh, okay. The little one that is in the stomach.
The little one that's in the tummy, yes, sir.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
And who are these?
Uh-oh.
So this is big daughter.
Big daughter.
Uh-huh.
And that is?
And who is this in the background here?
Miss, come on, I'm not glasses in there. See with me.
Oh, you're not seeing the pics good? That's
No, I'm not.
I'm looking at, and by the way, viewers, I should tell you that these are dads whom they are very special to me because
I see myself with the hat on, but I don't know this person. I don't.
Amari.
Amari look tall in the picture. Amari look tall in the picture.
Yes.
Amari, Imani, and me in the blue shirt.
Dads and so
Oh,
this is dads. And
yes, yes,
John.
yes.
So John is here and Amari. What's happening? This looks like a birthday cake being cut.
Yeah, it's my birthday.
No,
It's my birthday.
it was my birthday.
Oh, Teresa's birthday. Sorry.
It was mom's birthday. Okay.
Yes.
And this was Christmas.
Yeah, we decorate the lawn and all of that.
Okay. John,
Yes,
Imani,
and Big John.
and Big John. So this is
Yes.
John Jr.
Yes,
and John Sr. That's
yes. But you see how me look good now, Miss Kama?
but of course that's they see the gems that you produce.
Yes.
All right, that's you and Imani or mom. They're identical twins in us.
Yes, so you have to make sure. Let me look at the year and so I make sure.
But in this one, I can't see the ear good, so I don't know his
Oh, this is Imani.
Okay, and this is Zane.
No,
Madison.
Oh, Madison. Oh, hold on.
Yes.
Let me look. Oh, yes. I thought it was Zane, you know.
Madison.
Oh, so Madison is your niece?
Yes.
right, so that's Imani.
Me and Imani.
Always a bomb shot if you pick Sinner.
Yes, me notice that, you know. Me notice that, you know, Miss, come on.
Yeah, she
Oh,
always a bomb shot.
this was a very fantastic picture.
Oh yes, because
yes, this is for the school.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So I'm telling the viewers that all the dads who are with us today, I teach your kids. I know your kids by heart.
Yes.
Yes. So that's our uniform there. And again, Imani, Zain, and Daddy.
Yes.
And
that is me again.
Amari and John. So these are two sons.
Right.
Dads, you have it. Like I said, you have to know how to find the balance.
Right.
In teaching your boys.
Right.
And your girls, right? It's very important.
So Scott, you're other person?
My son.
So Mr.
Oh Lord.
Is offering up himself.
I thought we're being very good too.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Mr. Robinson who we're waiting on to join us. Right.
Okay.
So I'm going to share gonna find Mr. Stewart Speaks now and share. Right. I love to big up the dads, you know, and especially my Black fathers.
Yes.
People might say whatever, but people might say whatever, but I have to always big up my Black dads. Because they get so much knocking from all over the place.
True.
And I have to be one of them who, especially when I see the dads who put out what they're supposed to put out, they do what they're supposed to do. They are there, they provide, they protect, they guide. I have to big them up.
Yes.
Yeah, man. I'm an advocate for Black men.
Yeah, because we do our best, you know. Some of us do our best.
Yeah, man.
True.
I have to big up dads. All right, so Mr. Stewart, it's your turn now. Who is this young lady?
It's not showing.
Nothing showing.
Again?
Yeah.
Oh, this thing won't flap my show, so. The thing is,
I'm going to Mr. Stewart, you know. Mr. Stewart, look again. He love beach and them place.
But the beat, we get all it myself, you know, so we try to keep it down.
I'm not using my I'm broadcasting from another network. That's why some of the things
are off.
All right, let me try and get my moderator to put it on the screen in the meantime. Stop sharing and start.
Okay, it's
No, somebody else.
Came off again?
No, somebody just joined.
Somebody came in. Somebody joined.
Hello, Mr. Mills. Welcome.
Right. Busy with the signal here. I was in the Elsha. No proper signal there.
Oh, not getting any signal.
No.
Okay, well, welcome. And we're glad to have you. So we've talked about a lot so far. So let me throw the questions at you, Alex, that you've missed. So we talked about the fact that sometimes we have to plan. Some fathers plan the conversations that they have with their kids, and some fathers just play it by ear, just wait and see what happens, and then when the opportunity presents itself, they deal with it as the case may be. So do you have a particular strategy, Mr. Mills, in terms of the conversations that you have with your kids? Do you plan them and talk about specific things, or you wait for the opportunity to turn up and then you take it from there.
Well, for me, I don't really plan. Normally, as situations arise, and events, I will deal with it from that angle. You know, because normally you have regular conversation, but if something arises in a situation where you have to deal with it, yeah. But I don't really plan.
Okay. And do you have boys and girls, right?
One girl, 3 boys.
One girl. How many boys?
3. Well,
Three.
the last one is a baby. Bigger one, 16, going on 17.
So,
You know,
is
I
there
end
a
up carrying.
difference in how you approach your boys and your girls in terms of discipline and in terms of generally how you approach them?
Almost the same. Just a little bit different with the girls. You know, girls always attract a different attention because of the level of emotion that females display. Not that men are not boys.
Okay. All right. So, Kimberly, are you seeing the screen now? Mr. Stewart.
Sorry about that. So it's very different where the female is the girl child is concerned.
What are the differences? Give
Well,
me an
right,
example of how it will be different.
where as like for instance you would turn and straight with the might be more temper with your tone in referring to your daughter. Not a big difference, as I say. It's not a big difference, you know, you relate in terms of how you establish discipline and how you relate to them. But there's a slight.
So you're saying you would be gentler with your
Like,
daughter,
yeah,
You said,
and you would be
gentle with your
firmer
daughter
with your son.
yeah.
What would you say is the main challenge for you today raising kids?
Time and the time where you spend with them. Basically, for me, it's just the time spent with them. That's my basic challenge. And the other hand, everybody have the same economics where you have to maintain and provide for them. So that's basically it. But other than that, it's not really a challenge. Society has its role and influence. The challenge is you have to allow. You cannot, like some people say, they allow their children to choose for themselves. Them now force them into, like, for instance, I'm a Muslim, for instance, and some people say, well, me now choose for my child. Them allow them to make their own choices. But society does not allow your children to make any choices. They impose themselves on your children naturally. Like for instance, they say the school curriculums coming in where they have the type of family. You tell them, oh, you have a male and male, and you have female, mommy, daddy. Me tell my son, when you come out to that part, you make sure you get it wrong.
Yeah.
That's one question I need you to get wrong. And be proud to get them the question they wrong because there's no way a male and a male are gonna be a parent. Or a female are gonna be mommy. No. So make explain to them that way. So I'm not allowing
Go ahead.
I'm not allowing society to impose itself on my children and then I'm now supposed to fix the damages that society will do. After I impart my belief system on them, if they wish to go other than when they come of age, that's their choice. But while you're under my roof, under my care, and I have to be with you day in, day out, my relationship with you must be may I say eye to eye.
Yeah.
But when you reach a certain age and you're really ready to choose and do other than, then that's your choice when you're qualified to do so.
Exactly, and it is really being imposed, in the schools, and it's trickling
Yeah,
down from North America coming into the Caribbean region now, where it's going to
yeah.
be formulated within the curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's a real challenge, because you as a parent have certain standards that you want your child to be governed by, and yet um, the child is sent to school and they're telling them about this gender and that gender, and the rights of the child in terms of gender identity and that kind of thing. It's a
Gender identity.
really
Mm-hmm.
scary, for me. It's a really scary thing, and it's something that we would definitely have to assert ourselves on. So what I want you to do for me, Mr. Mills, so we're featuring your family. We're do the same thing for all the dads. So I just wanted to look at the pics and tell us quickly who is in the pic and what's happening. I see what three.
Also, that's 3K. It's Kalila and Kamal.
Oh, Kalila and
So it's
Kamal.
Kalila. Yes, so Kalila turned 3 and Kamal turned 1. They're born like 2 days apart or 3 days
Oh,
apart. So
okay.
Kalila is Kalila is born on the 11th of February and Kamal is born on the 8th of February. So they're very close.
All right.
Very much alike.
And who is this you're holding here?
So this is Kalila at Khalil's graduation.
Okay.
There
So this
he
is
is.
Khalil here on the right, on your right,
Yeah, yeah, at his graduation.
graduating from basic school.
From there.
Okay. What's the
So that's
occasion here?
the birthday party.
That's who? Khalil's birthday party.
Yeah.
Okay. Who is this?
So this is at this they wanna kind of the Khalil's grandfather funeral.
Oh, okay.
So that's in Saint Thomas, where Riverside, where I was born,
Mm-hmm.
where my
Yes.
grandmother used to live at the
And
Riverside.
I should let the viewers know that you are a farmer, a very proud
Oh
farmer.
yes,
Yes.
yeah,
As you mentioned that you were born, in St. Thomas. I know
Saint
you
Thomas,
love the
yeah.
land. You love the land and you love producing. I've been to your farm and I'm impressed. All right, so
Yeah.
everybody here looks sleepy. What happened? What knocked you out?
Basic taxi work and we did a wait and drop asleep.
Yeah.
There's an excitement, a Kalila excitement. She does for excitement. So this is Jalil now.
Mm-hmm.
Jalil's graduation from Greater Portmore Primary. You know Jalil,
Yes, I know Jalil. So Jalil is your eldest?
eldest.
Okay.
Uh,
So he
he's
is
in
now
it.
at what? High school now?
Yes, he just finished English. He just finished his exam. Going on to sixth form. Over in UK.
Okay.
He migrated with his mother. I don't know
Okay.
the teacher the pay what the teacher them get is not so attractive. So his mother left 2 years
Mm-hmm.
ago.
Is she the
So I
same
don't know.
profession?
Yes, still in his teaching profession. So I don't know
Mm-hmm.
the prime minister making it out, trying to attract new and better politicians, and he doesn't want to attract better teachers or
Mm,
keep the ones that he have. He only choose
right.
to want to attract new politicians. But I don't think he'll leave. He's going to want to leave after. With all the money we get, I don't think they want to leave.
Well, we'll just have to
That's
see.
time for the younger ones coming up with a better mind. They don't have better minds and they're getting better pay now. So it's time for the younger ones with a better mind.
But So in terms of that though, in terms of
Yeah.
and I'm putting this out to all the dads now again. Oh, welcome, Mr. Robinson. I'm just realizing that you've joined us. All right. So in terms of the future, because as adults, we can look forward and sometimes it look really bleak, it look dim, especially when we compare, you know, how we were raised, the things that used to happen when we were little, and now we see the bombardment of, you know, the technology and the different things that are being forced, literally forced on us. For example, we just talked about this gender identity thing that is being infiltrated into the schools, right? It's almost as if they have a mandate that they're going by. How do we prepare our kids for stuff like this, for what's to come in the future? How do we prepare them? Mr. Robinson, you just joined us. Would you like to take that question?
Happy Father's Day to the fathers, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
Same to you.
Yes. Same to you, boss.
Manners and love. Yeah.
Everything.
I was distracted in a miss. I wouldn't mind if you pick that question
Okay,
again.
let me rephrase.
Actually, I was trying to get this thing unmuted. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, we've talked about a good amount of different topics, but what we're on now, Mr. Mills mentioned how dreary it looks, you know, on the political scene. And I'm thinking that as parents, you see, we see further ahead than the child can see, right? So it's not that we want to be doomsday foreseers, but we are able to be realistic, and down the road it kind of look dim in terms of certain things. So I'm saying, how do we prepare our kids mentally, academically, and otherwise to face the challenges that the future is likely to bring?
Okay. Well, first I have to say,
we tell our kids,
you know, we live by example. You know, that's that's mainly my thing. The mental preparation is exactly where they are now. Trying to get them to understand the full stand the importance of, you know, education in these times. Because once your mind is ready, once your mind is prepared, then that is a key factor to fashion and shape their mind into a firm and a solid, you know, belief to let them know as to what they're seeing is not everything that you see is actually is. But as an example, me myself, trying to be the more influence and the greater influence in their lives. You know, we just try so them can see what is what, and they can take a page from that. If my layout and my settings don't really make it for them, then I'm not gonna beat up myself. You know, I'm not gonna beat up myself. I just want to know that but you lay the golden rules. I mean, each and every one is gonna take on their own, you know, passion of life and their own walks. Yeah, definitely. But once that layout is made, you know, somewhat of a blueprint to let them know.
Exactly.
You know, we just hope and wish and pray that will do it. You know, that will do it. Yeah.
Right. So you just want to make sure you set the example, have the blueprint, and then it's up to them to follow. Kimberly, are you able to see now the image?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm seeing.
All right. So we're gonna go through now, Kimberly, and I want you to Tell me, who is this beautiful young lady?
That's Kaylee.
That's Kaylee. That's my pretty
Yeah.
Kaylee.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful girl. And she would be roughly what age here?
Let me try to remember. Think
Two-ish,
about
two-ish, three-ish.
about three, about
Mhm.
three-ish. Yeah, because this is when I brought her to RJR basic school.
Okay.
Yeah, and she always loved books. So the first thing she saw was some books, and I had to read it with her. So
Do you read a lot to her?
yes, I read a lot to her. I read to her every day.
Okay.
Yeah, and till the point where she can read herself, where she do it herself. She don't need me to.
And I hope you don't mind me saying, but I'm aware that you're not where she is right now.
Yeah.
Physically, how do you bridge that gap? How do you make your presence still felt in her life?
Oh, that's kind of.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, happy Father's Day.
Bye.
Yeah, man, we're on a meeting here, so give me.
Eh?
We soon be with everything. So we're on a meeting, so.
But I got my thing home. Don't fight out.
All right. All right. Sorry about that.
Yeah, man.
All right. Yeah, as I was saying, yeah, to bridge that gap, what I do, since being here, I make sure she come every holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so where she can be around me physically instead of we talk every day. We talk every day on the device.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, and we used at the beginning we used to have our reading time. Yeah, because I like to read for her and she read for me, and
Right, which is
yeah,
very important.
yeah, we used to do that, but I mean, I guess our mommy become so busy and
Mm-hmm.
stuff now, so that kind of faded.
But I want you to try and keep that up, though, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Just
figure
even
out ways
15
to,
minutes.
yeah. I'm always trying to call and stuff, but you know that because different place, so we have to use Wi-Fi or internet, and maybe they're on the road or something, so there's no internet, so I can't even talk to her for the whole day or sometimes. So.
Okay. Well, what's happening here? This looks like a major celebration here.
Yeah, I think this was New Year's Eve.
Okay.
we were at Waterfront.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah, there. That was she was a tiny little baby.
tiny tot.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is pretty much what she looks like now.
Yes, and this was
Where was
Christmas. This was Christmas. This was in Manhattan when she came. She came for the Christmas
She came
holidays.
to spend some time with Daddy.
Yeah. I
I
brought her.
know.
She always wanted to try McDonald's, so this is when I brought her to McDonald's to have the experience.
Okay, and I know Kaylee is a daddy's girl.
Yeah. That's her with her McDonald's.
You know, she got her McDonald's.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And this was where at the beach?
No, this was home, but I think I was doing something on the phone and she was there messing around. So I just took a picture, took a selfie, a quick selfie.
Right. I love these pics. All right, so Mr. Robinson, it's your turn now. Who is that holding on to Daddy?
That's Mr. Pure.
Oh, that's pure.
Yeah, man, that's Pure. Yeah, man, that's Pure in his little stage
What
of
made you
about
choose the
3,
name
4.
Pure?
About why did I choose the name Pure? You know, it's just it's a natural thing, miss. Honestly, it's just a name that came. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a what do I call it? A karate movie watcher. Yeah. And I was actually watching one of them movies and
Who's next door?
the name came. The name just came. The name came.
Yeah.
And I just decided to call him Pierre. Yeah, once it was in the belly, you know.
I love the name. I love the name. I love the concept. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. And who are these young men?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Those are my sons, yes. You're
So
looking
this
at
is
Zion.
Pure.
immediately beside me.
Zion.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and you got Jamani there, definitely. Yes, and Mr. Pierre is right there
So
to
he's
the
doing what?
right.
Karate?
Yeah, man. Doing something. That day if I was career day. If you realize he's in the camouflage thing there. Yeah, so that
So
was
he was
career
a
day.
soldier. Okay.
Yes, he was a soldier on that day. So that was career day for him. Yeah, man. So that's us in Runaway Bay. I believe that's one
Mm-hmm.
of my by my cousin's place. We normally go there is on the holiday. Normally go there for the holidays.
Okay.
We get out of Kingston. We go down that way so we can go to the beach and you know, just to get
Enjoy the new
different
country.
vibes. Yeah.
So these are the boys when they were
Yeah.
much
So that's it.
younger. Is this Zion?
Yes, indeed. You know.
Okay.
Yeah man. Zion in the red shirt there, yes.
Oh, this one is Zion.
And yeah. Zion in the red.
In the red.
Yeah, Zion in the red. Yes, man. And that's Jamani. I guess that time he was a little bit taller than Jamani,
Than
yes?
Jamani. How the tables turn.
Right. So now you realize it that
Yeah.
yeah man, he waited and now Jamani just fly past. Yeah.
I know it's a major
So
concern for
that's
him.
yeah, it is, Because I guess at one point you told him that there's actually something that could make him grow.
Yes, I did. He saw me with it and he came up and
Yeah,
asked me. Yeah. But-
yeah. Yeah,
so
man.
these
And
kind
he
of
was very fascinated by
yes, he
that,
was.
definitely.
And this
Yeah,
is
man,
pure
very, very much.
again.
You know. Yeah, man, that's us in Portland.
Oh,
Yeah,
so we're going back to
visit
okay.
over there in Portland.
It's important you
You know.
talk about the
Yeah,
road
man.
trips to the country. Yeah, these kind of things are important for dads to do with their kids, even without the mom. You know, you leave mom at home sometimes and just let it be you and the kids. I believe that's important. The dad time, just dad and the kids talking. I mean, with my kids, when they're having dad time with their father, I stay aside. I'll observe, I'll listen, but I don't get involved. And they're always playing dominoes, they're playing all kind of board games, they're making a lot of noise. I'm the quiet one. So it's really fun for me to observe them making all the noise and the laughter and the tumbling. I think that is a healthy thing, right? So Mr. Robinson, another question that I had posed to the dads before you came on, in terms of the conversations that you have, we know there are certain things that are crucial to talk about with the kids. Do you set aside a specific time to say, all right, the kids are approaching this age, we need to talk about XYZ, we need to have a sit down and specifically talk about that? Or do you just let it flow? Do you let the situations occur and then you use the opportunity as a teachable moment? Which strategy do you prefer to use?
Yeah, my strategy is the experience. Then I step in. Yeah, man. I'm normally very observant as to where the changes might occur. I normally use the experience to like make those you know time to
Seize
do
the
those kind of
moment.
teaching.
Yeah, you just seize the moment as
Yes,
yeah,
I
this
normally
look like a good time to talk
yeah man.
about this.
Def-
Yeah. And what do
yeah
you
man,
think is
that's
the
me.
main challenge for
I
you?
just Well,
What would you say is the
the
main
main
challenge?
challenge I would say, challenge, yeah, challenge is sound away still, but I believe it's just to keep them on the straight and narrow. You
Yeah.
understand? Because I may be a light, I may be the individual where govern over them and such, as to
Mhm.
keep them, teach them up the right and wrong and the do's and the don't. But at the end of the
Yes.
day, you know that society itself and the influence in the world also shares its part. So as I've said from earlier, you know, what I lay out and the ground rules and the do's that I lay out. If they go against that and go against the grain, there's consequences, and they have to just understand that. So I'm an individual according to my approach and studying of my own life. You know, a lot of my life is definitely grounded from experience. So I leave them to that. I leave
Okay.
them to, like, go through the experience. And like you said, if it's however it turn out, we can
Mhm.
show them, you know, this is the outcome of that, so such is the approach. So
Okay.
that is just my thing, you live and learn.
Okay. In wrapping up, so we are about an hour in, so we're gonna wrap up now. I'm going to allow each dad to tell me um what advice, and so we're gonna go around and everybody is gonna tell me what advice would you give to your daughter and to your son. Let's say let's say your child approaches the age of 18, ready now to go out into the world. What advice would you give to your son and what advice would you give to your daughter? Mr. Scott, I'm gonna start with you.
I know you're coming. I know. First thing I want to say, Miss, come on. You see, whatever you're teaching the kids to do, whatever you're telling them that they should do, make sure that you possess that characteristic. Make sure that you're not telling them and they are seeing something else coming from you.
Yeah, don't be a hypocrite.
No. Like for my sons now, I know that being a man, being a boy going into a man, you want to be the best man you can be. So I will start to tell you that, listen to me. The things that identifies a man, being a provider, love his kids, care for his family, you know, be there for especially the women. Because I remember my mother saying something to me one time that if I didn't have my boys, I don't know what I would have been. So we as men, we don't get the type of recognition from society where we deserve. But I know that our role is significant in the family life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I would have said, like to my daughter, I know that you will like guys. You're going to like people, but don't make that take away from what you want to achieve in life. Do what you want to do in life. Don't put it aside for nothing. Because at the end of the day, I can guarantee you that some of these people, they are really just playing. And you have to be aware of this.
What are some red flags she should run away from?
Yes, you must run away from. You run away from somebody who's want to talk to you, especially during the time when you want to spend some time doing some good work. Yes, somebody that don't regard your time. Somebody that they will do want to tell you that I love you, but you're not seeing no love.
Yeah.
Love is an action word. You must see love, and then you don't want to get involved too deep, too soon, because that can be a deterrent to your future.
Exactly. Okay.
Yes. So yes.
All right. And you talked about, the fact that the men who are there and who stand their ground and do what they're supposed to do, they don't get enough praise. And I always make it my point of duty to big up my Black men. And I'm talking about Black men. That's who I know, that's who I love, that's who I advocate for, my Black men. So I'm giving the opportunity, and I'm really shouting out to all the Black dads who are doing what you're supposed to do. Big shout out to you today
Big shout out,
and
Mr. Man.
always. Yeah, man.
Shout,
All right,
Mr. Man, shout.
Mr. Stewart, what would you advise your daughter and your son?
All right. One thing I would let them know that you can be anything you want to be. That's something that really rests heavy with me.
But I want specific. I want
Right, okay.
because you have all stressed. I've heard it in all of you that there is a difference in your approach to the boy and to the girl. So I want to know, your girl is about to leave the home.
Mm-hmm.
What advice can you give her to ensure that she stays safe? You have kept her cocooned and safe up to this point, and she's going out now into the world. What advice will you give her? And I know you're gonna give your son a different kind of advice.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right. The
the
advice.
specifics.
Okay. All right. For my daughter, I will let her know that okay, she gonna fall in love. She gonna meet guys that she gonna like them. She gonna fall in love. But as long as she keep that North Star, she wanna build herself, because if she just focus on trying to be this person for that person, she will end up lose herself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I want to just focus on the North Star. You want to build something, you want to get a career, whatever you want to do, just focus on that. Yes, you're going to fall in love, you're going to like guys, you're going to do stuff, yes, but as long as you just stay focused to that North Star. And there are going to be times you might fall off also, because we're human. We make mistakes, we mess up, we trip, yeah, all of that. But just keep your eyes on the North Star.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to your son?
And for my son, yeah, I'll let him know that what being a man is. Like, being a man, you have to be there for your family first and foremost. You have to protect your family. Stand your ground. Stand your ground no matter what. No matter what, no what body tell you, you have to always stand your ground. Even if you feel weak in your knees, stand your ground as a man.
Yes.
Yeah, you are a man. Stand your ground. No, never settle for less. No second class. Just go for what you want. No matter what. No, anyone tell you about this or that, just go for what you want. Keep the North Star, just I was told my daughter.
Our Black sisters need it. They definitely need the men to stand up, to stand by them.
Yeah.
So I absolutely agree with you. And Mr. Robinson, your daughters of the future, what will you tell them? And what will you tell yourself?
Daughter for the future. A play boy we have in the line.
We know some play boy come out already, but the girls are coming. They tell me they're on their way.
The girls are coming.
Yes.
Well, when they come, I guess I'll faster than talk. But for right now, for the boys, the key factor is they have to be strong. Straight up. When I say strong, I mean mentally, emotionally, physically definitely, because I do tell them say they have to get that. Those components have to be in harder, definitely. To go out there, the key thing is what you put out is what you get. The key thing is, as I'm saying to them, respect. I always teach them on a daily basis, and trust me, anytime I get serious and stern, you have people, place, and things. That is my thing. People, place, and things. You have to have respect for people, respect for the place that you're in, and you have to have respect for the things that you're responsible for. And, these lessons are just a constant lesson from baby stage up to the days of this time, because I realized that they sometimes just neglect that lesson. We just need to be so rigid. Once you have respect for people, place, and things, and love for people, place, and things, you always have to just deal with life as to how you do things.
Definitely.
Let them know the seed sow and the one you have to reap. You have to just careful how you put out, because what you put out, it will get. These things are just my simple mottos of life. These things are just my mottos, so we just try to make them understand those simple things from early and just realize as them grow. I just this right there. And that's just how life is. So
absolutely.
That's my lesson. For the females, them I just say, get it right. The mental have to be intact. Yeah, man. You have to get the mental space have to be in order. Both
What kind of
boys,
man should she avoid? What kind of man, when she see my come, she run the other way? Run like she mad the other way.
All right. Well, with that. Yes, sir, run like she mad. Well,
yeah, what
I don't
kind
know
of
if
man?
you can actually see when they come, because I mean, it boiled down again, miss. It boiled down again to the experience, because check the levels. I mean, she's going to have enough sense if she see a certain temperament, she does know to avoid certain temperaments. You understand? But the one that may come as wolf in a sheep clothing now, you don't know, say, you can't hide the spot for too long.
Yeah.
So you have to just, give time. Things, take time as to how one unfold themselves, because your mouth have to say one thing at the same time, it have to match up with the actions.
Yeah. And
So
you see, one of the challenges for me. Yes, go ahead, finish your thought.
Yeah, so with that now, like I said, with the experience of life just teaches one. That's just the greatest lesson in our life, the experience. So as you go through things, and for the ones that love reading and stuff, you can read and get the understanding, and just realize as you go through life, you just learn.
Yeah.
So with all the knowledge that you gather along the way from the books and personal, you learn and put all of that together and just, understand life. Yeah. So, the mental space have to be intact. So what they're now doing, like, going to school, understanding differences and learn how to differentiate. That's what learning is all about. That's what the schoolwork is all about. The calculating, the mathematics, the reading, the differentness.
The academics, right?
Yeah, it's very, very important. Very important.
As a parent,
so I just realized.
As a parent who I shield my kids, and one of the challenges I think for me, and I suppose it would be a challenge for any parent who is trying to be protective in this harsh environment. The challenge is, how do you shield your child and at the same time make the child street smart, so that when they do go out, they can fend for themselves? It's a delicate balance to do, to be able to, because people say, well, in order to be street smart, they have to have X amount of exposure, So it's a really difficult thing to get that balance, but it can be done. I think I've done it. Yeah. And I should tell my viewers that these Black men, these wonderful Black men, they were selected to come and speak to you this evening. I can vouch for them because I work with their children. I see the results of whatever it is they have told you this evening. The results are there. I work with the fruit of their loins, so to speak. All right, my parting shot, which I'm going to throw out there, not to anyone in particular, I'm just going to throw it out there, because I don't want to put anybody on the spot. But I have been told that you see those men who used to run the place hot in their days, they are the most protective ones now of their kids. Is it because they know what they used to do and they know what's out there? Because they used to run the place at. They are the most protective. So when I'm hearing all this protectiveness coming out of you young men this evening, I can only imagine what you were like in your younger days. I'm going to assume. I'm not going to give you the chance to verify or deny. I'm just going to assume.
Well, Miss Kamara, I can go right off the bat, you know. I will not wait until you call my name.
You hear me say, I'm not calling any names.
We're not sure, Miss Kamara. I'll go first.
I'm just putting the theory out there that, you know, those men.
Miss Kamara. Miss Kamara, we can start because my conscience is very, very clear.
Oh, your conscience is clear.
Clear, very clear. And I am overly protective of my girls because I was that guy.
Right.
I was one of those guys that was, what you said, with women. I have women till I don't remember some of them names.
So you know what's out there right now.
Yeah, that's right. So and I can tell you that when the ladies want the male, it's a different thing from when the male want the ladies, you know. Because when the ladies want you and they will come to you, and decide to go with anything that you offer. But when you are going to search for someone, sometimes you're gonna have to do a little. You have to impress them. You have to make sure. You have to make them be assertive. You have to make them sure that you are real. So when I come upon those relationships, are those girls that want to make sure, I go on somewhere else.
Oh,
I don't have time for that because that is not the thing.
Yeah.
So I have to tell my daughter. Right, I have to tell my daughter that if you have a boyfriend and every time is you alone calling him not calling you, break the phone for a while and see how much time he call you. And then you know easily, clearly you know that he's not in it for no good reason.
Somebody else is entertaining him as well.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I can freely speak and truly speak that I usually have girls all over the place. I don't even know some of them names. Because I used to be a bus driver and I was a brand name bus driver. And you know I have to find out how that go. Sometimes reach a half a tree, I'm gonna get about 5 phone numbers in my hand.
Yeah.
About 5 phone numbers in my hand before me drive off at the bus.
I mean, you're talking the truth, and
yes,
it is a fact that you say the men who used to play games and they know what is what, they know what's out there, and they have come to a point in their life where, you know, now they have perspective, now they have standards, now they have sense.
Right.
So they're really more protective of their kids.
Yes, and I want to give
what is out there.
And I want to add a little more to this. When I was growing up as a youngster in the country, because I grew up in rural country, rural Jamaica, and my brother was upset with me because of the amount of girls that I have, and him can't get none.
So you never tell him the things.
But it was not. I was a footballer. I was a cricketer. I was a sportsman. So the girls would come to football, go to watch me, and cricket to watch me. But he was a sport guy. He was just a normal guy. So if I look and I saw him with any of the girls that I have a high on, again, as he walk away, I can just call them.
So you never tell him, say, all he need to do is kick one ball and put on one shorts.
He just needs to see what is happening. He needs to see what.
No, but you need to advise him.
Well, if big army of his come on, so I don't want to take the argument from you, though.
Oh, so you were the little one?
Right. And then my mother now, when I started getting kids, my mother said to me, you see how much data you get? God gave so much data to make sure so you have to grow them properly. It's so much girl.
Exactly. That's my point. Yes, that's
You
my
understand?
point.
So when I go to grow my daughter, when I tell them all of my experience, they don't need to make no mistake.
That's your punishment and your reward in one.
Yes.
All right, Dads, I'm really happy you were able to come. My Black fathers, my Black men, I love you. I cherish you. Thank you for spending the time with me this evening. Happy Father's Day to those who are joining us in the chat. Thank you for coming out as well. And I hope you have an enjoyable evening, and I hope you all, the women and the other, whoever in your life, I hope they made this day really special for you.
Yes. And I have to big up my wife for this occasion. She's really, really, really fun to be with.
Yes.
And I'm happy. Yes. And I want to say big up to all the fathers here. Happy Father's Day to you all.
Yes, happy Father's Day, gentlemen. Thank you. All right. I'll see you all around. Bye.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.